Surprise, surprise. We're doing a super duper mini Live with Les because on Real Southern Gospel Radio in 26 and a half minutes, we've got Friday Night live in concert music from the Blackwood Brothers and Gold City coming at you in about 26 minutes. So we can't do a long Live with Les, but I just wanted to mention a handful of things, and I wanted to talk about my friend Martin Cook. I'm going to show you a few pictures that are unique to me, and going to play maybe a song or two here that has Martin there at the piano with the inspiration. So this is just a quick little, hey, what's up? Live with Les. Okay? But I do want to, because I appreciate them very much. I want you to look at my sponsor there for Live with Les, soldbymkhome.com. Please, if you have to buy or sell a home, no matter where you are in America, would you please consider Mary Catherine Hughes and her son Isaac, who just left my house, as a matter of fact. Isaac works with me on Real Southern Gospel Radio. And so they'll do a great job, and they love Southern gospel music. Mary Catherine, a fine Southern gospel piano player and singer. Isaac, a fine singer, and he's just eating up with it. I wouldn't want to. He's 20 years old, and I wouldn't want to play him in a trivia game for Southern gospel music, because he knows it. He knows it is what I'm trying to tell you. He knows the old stuff, the new stuff, the in-between stuff. He knows it. And he's part of soulbymkhome.com. So call him too, 615-788-1932. They've got a little video on Real Southern Gospel Facebook page if you want to check that out. And leave him a nice note. Maybe even send him a text there. Say, thank you for supporting Live with Les and Southern Gospel music. And we appreciate you, okay? It'd be good if they even just heard that a little bit. It'd be wonderful, okay? Okay, let me see. Let me get a few other things out of the way, and then I'm going to talk about Martin, play a song or two, show you a few pictures. Matter of fact, my Aunt Sue's on here, and my Aunt Sue may even be in one of these pictures. There's my grandmother in one of the pictures. Sue, you're not in this one, but your mother and my grandmother is in one of the pictures. So sit tight there, Aunt Sue. Let me see. So tonight at 7 Central, just 25 minutes away, Blackwood Brothers Live, Gold City Live. It's Friday Night Live on Real Southern Gospel Radio. Honestly, tell your friends, your neighbors, your loved ones, start sending texts, start sending messages, instant messages, call and say, okay, now from 7 to 8 Central, 8 to 9 Eastern, it's going to get real up in the Real Southern Gospel Radio booth. And be listening. Blackwood Brothers Live, Gold City Live, their very first recorded live album. And it's going to be stupendous, is what I'm saying. Let me see. In a couple of weeks, let's see. No, not this weekend. A week from tomorrow. And that's Sunday. So next weekend, Eddie Crook is going to be taking over Real Southern Gospel Radio. He's going to be playing some things he's going to be playing songs from way back when. He's going to be playing songs from groups that he says really does Real Southern Gospel Radio or Real Southern Gospel music well today. So he's taken over the joint. He's got stories from the past and just great stories, and it's wonderful. He's taking the weekend over next weekend. So don't forget that. Eddie Crook, Southern Gospel Music Hall of Famer, Gospel Music Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Eddie Crook, next weekend on Real Southern Gospel Radio. Okay? And the last Monday and Tuesday of March is going to be a big day. In between now and then, I'm going to be working hard on getting a lot of information prepared for you. We're going to have a bunch of special guests, and it's going to be an all morning, all afternoon, all night deal for 2 days in a row. The last Monday and Tuesday of March, it is going to be our very first ever Real Share-a-thon. And we're going to have, like I say, special music, special guests coming, coming in here and being on the screen with us, and special music and special stuff, and lots of information and some things that you're going to go, wow, I'm not believing that. And some things you're going to be saying like, Les, say that again. I don't believe I heard that correctly. Some things that's going to blow your mind. And it is forevermore going to be some kind of 2 days on that last Monday and Tuesday of March. Big time. Morning, noon, and night. And by the way, if all goes well, we're going to be live on Real Southern Gospel Radio that entire time. And the overwhelming majority of that time, you'll also be with me in the studio live with Les, all at the same time, morning, noon, and night. That's right. You heard that right, boys and girls. So be watching for that. Be looking for that. Circle that, the last Monday and Tuesday of March. Okay? Go to the store when you think about it, all that kind of good stuff. And don't forget, we would love to hear from you if you've got any requests that you'd like to hear some music on Real Southern Gospel Radio, so long as it's been approved for Real Southern Gospel Airplay. By George, we'll do it. And we'd love to hear from you. Matter of fact, would you be so kind as I'm going to give you a toll-free number to call. It's our Real Southern Gospel Radio hotline. And I would love for you just to say who you are, where you're calling from, and give me your thoughts about the station. Okay? We're going to put some audio pieces together. We want to put you on the air, on the radio, and you can help me with this share-a-thon by doing this. So here's the number. Write it down, and sometime in the next day or two, just call. You don't have to read a book to me. It can be 15 seconds long, a minute. It can't be any more than 2 minutes because it cuts it off at 2 minutes. So it's got to be less than 2 minutes. But if you just want to give me 10, 15, 20, 30 seconds, that's fine. And that number is 800-360-5051. 800-360-5051. Please do that. Please do that. I'm not asking you for money. I'm not asking you for nothing. I'm asking you for about 30 seconds of your time to call 800-360-5051. Say your name, where you're calling from, and what you love about Real Southern Gospel Radio. Also, if you have a request, call that same number. Give me your name, city and state where you're from, and say, hey, I'd love to hear blah, 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 blah. And we'll try to play it for you, okay? And don't forget, please download the app. If you have already, please, I'm begging you, share the app with everybody that you know, okay? Now, in 18 minutes, it's going to be Blackwood Brothers and Gold City live on Real Southern Gospel Radio, Friday Night Live, okay? Let's say hey to a few folks, and then I want to just talk a little bit about my buddy Martin Cook, who went home to be with the Lord a couple of days ago. And I've got some pictures here, and going to play some music just for a few minutes because we got to get off the air because I want you listening to Real Southern Gospel Radio live at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, Friday Night Live. But first, let's say hey to Daryl Sheely from Central Florida. God bless you, Daryl. Nathan Morris, Indiana. How you doing, my brother? Good to see you. I trust you're doing well. My Aunt Sue there from Central Florida. Brad Taylor, good to see you. Mike Smith, he was right here, just 3 days ago, right there. We had a great time. And what else we got? And Leslie, hey, Fields of Grace. He won't just get you by. He'll see you through. She does it a whole lot better than that, of course. Man, we had a good time last week in Maryville, Tennessee, with the Kaufmans and with the Lore family in Fields of Grace. And they brought the heat. I mean, it was good. God showed up and we just had church there for a while, for sure. Hello, Jeremy and Candace, Looper Bear, good to see you. David Stewart, Sheila Hensley, good to see all of you. Okay, so our friend Martin Cook, the gentleman who with his high school students started the Inspirations Quartet from Bryson City, North Carolina, went home a couple days ago to be with the Lord, and And I go back to with him all the way back to I go back to the early 70s. But now I really didn't start forging a relationship with Martin or any of the Inspirations until 1978. And then we quickly became very, very good friends. And I used to promote them up in the Chicago area. I would book them to come to various auditoriums. I would pay their flats. I would promote it. We'd bring people in and have a big old time. And to that end, here, I want to show you. Let me get this right here. Here's a picture. Wait a minute now. Here's a picture of, what's going on here? One of those events, and look at the crowd. Look at here. What about it? And there's Martin right there by my finger, sitting on the piano bench. The boys were doing a little a cappella thing, and he wasn't playing there. He was just egging them on. You know how he used to do. And matter of fact, it may have been at that particular concert that they stopped at my store. I owned a Southern Gospel music store in Griffith, Indiana. And we brought them in, and we had a crowd there, and you can see that crowd right there. There's some right there, right where my finger is, right there in the background, not in the foreground, but in the background. That is my grandmother. That is my father's mother. Her name was Opal. I called her Mamaw. And she loved this kind of music, and she loved the Inspirations. And right there's Martin turning around to talk to those folks right there. What about that? Look at there. The picture's a little fuzzy, but that's as good as I could do right there. And check this out. The Inspirations came in and sang in my little music room, put on a little mini concert before the concert that night. And there they are in my little music room in the music store. There is Archie Rarenback. You see him there. Next to Archie is Troy. There's Martin at the piano. There's the old bear hunter over by Mike Holcomb, who is in the foreground. So there's the Inspirations, and they were singing something right there, and Martin at my piano there in the music store. What about that? Some interesting little pictures there. And then I posted this picture. I posted this picture on Facebook, I think yesterday, and gave some comments. And I love this picture. It is one of my favorite pictures in the world. First off, I'm blown away that I'm playing with the Inspirations. That's number one. And number two, take a look at Myron back there on the upright bass. If you could really see, man, I mean, he was intense. He was absolutely, I was doing my best to absolutely just tear that piano up, and he was loving it. And then he started to tear the bass up, and we were just getting after it best we could. But now look at Martin. Look at him smiling and how happy he was. I mean, he was happy. He had so many reasons to be happy. First off, he was saved. He was going to heaven. He didn't have to go to hell. That ought to make a man and a woman happy. Somebody say amen to that. And then there he is with one of the most successful quartets in the history of all of gospel music. So he's a happy man. And there was a big old crowd there, and they were just loving every second of it. And man, he was a happy man. And there he was with a couple of young folks doing their best to just play their best for the Lord and playing it Southern gospel style. He was a happy man. Look at him smiling. Martin Cook. And as I said in my Facebook post, I appreciated him so much on so many different levels because of the man he was, the walk that he had from managing one of the greatest quartets in the history of the world, and how they always, when you saw them, when you heard them, when you were around them, you knew that these guys were for real, and it was #real Southern gospel. You didn't have to listen but about the first 3 seconds, and you knew. And that's what I'm doing with Real Southern Gospel Radio. If you have to listen more than a few seconds to figure out if it's real, if it's Southern gospel, or if it's something else, or if it's country, or if it's CCM, or if it's what, I'm trying to plow down the same road that Martin Cook plowed. He's gone. The Lord's left me here. And while I'm here, I'm going to keep plowing where Martin plowed. What about that? I didn't know that was going to jump on me. That just came out from out of nowhere. But amen, that's the way it is. The inspirations were the real deal. They still are the real deal, by the way. And old brother Les is trying his best to be the real deal. And he's trying his best for his radio station to be real Southern gospel. And in my Facebook post, I talked about how Martin would see me backstage and the side backstage, because I was soaking up everything, soaking it up like a sponge. And he knew that I knew all their stuff. I could sing it backward and upside down. And he would wave at me from the side, and he'd tell Bear Hunter to give me his microphone, and I'd sing baritone for a while with the Inspirations. And then sometimes he'd wave me over, and he'd get up off the piano and point down to the piano, and I'd take off and just do all the piano stuff for the Inspirations, which is what this picture was all about. That was one of those times when he waved me over from the side of the stage and said, "Hit it, boy," and there I go. Doing my best to hit it the way he said. And how he encouraged me as a young man, and how I'm doing my best to try to do that as well. I've got young Isaac Hughes working for me. I'm doing everything I know to help fan the flame for this kind of music for this young man and for others that I stumble upon from time to time. And by the way, don't let anybody fool you. There's a ton of young people that love real Southern gospel music. There's a ton that love this right here. And I'm going to play something from that right now. Now, in 10 minutes, the Blackwood Brothers and Gold City is live on Real Southern Gospel Radio. So this is going to be quick. But, on the Inspiration albums, Martin didn't play the piano. They had session players that played on their stuff. And Otis Forrest played most of the piano on all the Inspiration records. But on these live records, like A Night of Inspiration and the 12th Anniversary Live, both recorded there at Warner Robins, Georgia. This is Martin. Here's right there. I mean, you see him right there. That's them right there. There's Martin standing up at the piano. Let me see. There's Bear Hunter on the upright. You got Dale Jones there at the steel and Roger Fortner at the guitars, and then you've got the quartet there. And so he's playing on these live records. So I am going to, let me see here. I've got to get this set up. I should have had it set up, but I just jumped on here to do this. This was totally not planned. I'm going to play a little bit of A Night of Inspiration here, which has Martin at the piano, and we'll let the Inspirations sing. But we only have a few minutes because I want you all to go to Real Southern Gospel Radio and listen to the Blackwood Brothers in Gold City live on Friday Night Live. I got a special picture I'm going to show you in a minute. But first, how about where is it here? Let me see. Here we go. All right, here we go. I got it right here. Here we are. Inspirations, A Night of Inspiration live with Martin at the piano.
It's a delight to be here this evening in Warner Robins, Georgia, for this live recording called A Night of Inspiration, sung by some of the greatest gospel singers in America today. Let's welcome these young men from Bryson City, North Carolina, the Inspirations.
Some morning you'll find me touring that city where the Son of God is alive. You'll find me there on the streets so pretty, made of gold, so pure and so bright, with Jesus, the one who gave me the victory, who led me across the divide. Some morning you'll find me touring that city, where with him I will never abide.
Many times I have wondered about the sights of that city and all that my eyes shall behold. I will see all the wonders when I enter that city, there forever be safe in his fold.
Some morning you'll find me touring that city, where the Son of God is the light. You'll find me there on the street, so pretty, made of gold, so pure and so bright. With Jesus, the one who gave me the victory, who led me across the divide. Some morning you'll find me touring that city, where with him I will never abide.
Here on earth we have troubles that to us seem so heavy, but in heaven no one will be sad. Mom and Dad will be singing, heaven's praises will be ringing for the dearest friend I ever had.
Some morning you'll find me touring that city, where the Son of God is the light. You'll find me there on the street, so pretty, made of gold, so pure and so bright. With Jesus, the one who gave me the victory, who led me across the divide. Some morning you'll find me touring that city, where with him I will ever abide, ever abide.
We're going to slip in one more song before we go to Friday Night Live with the Blackwood Brothers and Gold City Live on Real Southern Gospel Radio. But how about a little 6494 and Martin at the piano, The Inspirations. When I wake up.
What a glad thought, some wonderful morning, just to hear Gabriel's trumpet sound.
When I wake up
To sleep no more. Rising to meet our blessed Redeemer, with a glad shout I'll leave the ground.
when I wake up
To sleep no more. Some glad morning, Jew of a dawning, over in glory, head in the story, with the redeemed of all the ages, praising the one whom I adore. When I wake up to sleep no more. Glory to God, I'll have a new body, changed in the twinkling of an eye.
when I
wake up to sleep no more, leaving behind all trouble and sorrow, bound for that city up on high.
when I
wake up to sleep no more, some glad morning, Jew was adoring, over in glory, telling the story with the redeemed of all the ages, praising the one whom I adore. When I wake up to sleep no more, some glad morning, Jew was adoring, over in glory, telling the story with the redeemed of all the ages, praising the one whom I adore. When I wake up to sleep no more.
Old Brother Martin there at the piano.
The chorus of that song.
He had something he wanted to say.
Some glad morning, Jews adoring, over in glory, telling the story with the redeemed of all the ages, praising the one whom I adore. When I wake up to sleep no more, yes, I wake up. Some glad morning, Jews adoring, over in glory, telling the story with
Do it, Troy.
Redeemed of all the ages, praising the one I adore. When I wake up to sleep no more.
Well, in a little over a minute, we got the Blackwood Brothers and Gold City Live on Real Southern Gospel Radio. So I'm going to bow out here, but I just wanted to say a few quick words about my friend Martin Cook. And I wanted to show you this last picture. I showed you a few really cool pictures before, but here's the last picture that I took with Martin. This happened 3.5 years ago. And there we are, Martin Cook and his old buddy Les. And that's me with my old buddy Martin Cook of the Inspirations. And one day, you know what? You know what we're going to do? We're going to tour that city together, me and Martin, and a bunch of others. I hope you're ready. I want you to tour it with us. Amen. Real quick, hello, Jeremy and Candy. That's good Southern gospel music. It's as good as it gets. Brother Daryl. Heather, sounds incredible. Les, thank you. Glenn, good to see you. Karen, says, that takes me back to many years ago. My dad loved that song. My mom, dad, and I sang that as a trio in our church. And my mom and dad, myself, we did as well. And, Donald Talent from Mississippi. Donald, let me tell you, I've just got a very few seconds, but I have to tell you, I hope you're still listening, how much your Facebook message, your post meant to me when you talked about Martin and people that have impacted you in your life. And you mentioned Jeff Chapman, Martin Cook, and myself. Oh my. Brother Donald, you have no idea what that meant to me. And I appreciate it. God bless you. Everybody, right now, go to Real Southern Gospel Radio. Go to the app, turn it on. Blackwood Brothers and Gold City Live. Right now, Friday Night Live, Real Southern Gospel Radio.